Did you know that anyone can stay consistent just by avoiding 3 mistakes in their daily life? I understand a lot of you guys experiencing a roller coaster when it comes to sticking to routines and making consistent efforts. Some days you wake up fully charged, ready to conquer the day with a checklist in hand. You hit the gym, prepare a healthy breakfast, and block out times for work and study. It feels great, right? But then there are those other days when the snooze button is your best friend and the day sort of just drifts by. I understand you have big dreams. You want to advance in career, get in better shape, and maybe even start a side business. But the challenge is you can't stay consistent with your efforts. But despite these struggles, you are determined. That's why you clicked on this video, right? And I am going to make every second you spend here worthwhile, because not only will I share the 3 mistakes that are murdering your consistency, I'll also reveal the 3 most simple and effortless strategies that will help you stay consistent over the long term, making your path to success smoother. There's one thing that most people forget to pay attention to when trying to get better grades, make more money, or stay consistent in any area, and that is your goals are too icky and too overwhelming. Writing down the goal, I need to get a job promotion this year, is a mistake in itself. It's too big of a goal, and it doesn't seem easy to achieve. So, with every big outcome that you want for your life, you have to break it up into smaller steps. That way, it can be trackable, and you can contribute to achieving that goal every single month, making it easier to achieve. For example, if the big outcome you want for your life in 2024 is the job promotion, then every single month you need to set yourself smaller goals so that by the time you get to the 12 months, you've gotten the big outcome. So, in January, it might be to network with more people in the industry. In February, it might be to go to more work socials so that you can get friendlier with the higher-ups in your job. In March and April, it might be to do a set number of courses to develop your skill set within your field so that you can then improve your resume, maybe apply to other jobs, etc. When you look at it like that, you are much more likely to go throughout the year and think, I'm actually doing all of the things I said I was going to do. When you say getting a job promotion, how are you supposed to action that? If you work out the steps to achieve it, you can start doing something to get closer to that goal every single day. But there's another similar mistake that is even more dangerous, and a vast majority of people are currently doing it. It's the pressure of perfection that is holding you back. It is only when you embrace failure will you be able to get back up every single time, but 10 times stronger, aka get used to having no results. When you mess up or you procrastinate, all of a sudden you are less motivated to keep going. All of a sudden you think that you're not meant for that life, or you're not meant to achieve that goal because you thought the journey was going to be a straight line. You need to set goals, knowing the journey is going to be an absolute mess. That's what the line is going to look like, and you're going to love every single second of it, because the more difficulties and the more failures you experience on a daily basis, the closer you move towards achievement because of the wisdom gained in that process. Remember, every single successful person in the world has more failures than they do successes. So when you flip your perception to that and you're going about your day and you're coming across these hurdles and it's not as easy as you thought it would be, all of a sudden you go from, oh my God, I'm not meant for this, to, oh my God, I'm making progress. And therefore, if every single day you're making that little bit of progress, there is nothing more satisfying and motivating than that. And that is how you're going to keep pushing yourself to keep going. Progress has got nothing to do with results. But there's one last mistake that you need to avoid to solidify your consistency, and it's you don't have a purpose. Purpose creates drive. Drive is motivation. It's the thing that will have you leaping out of bed every single morning, excited to put in the work. Discipline isn't even a question at that point, because you're already so obsessed with working towards the goal. So the mistake that so many people make is not having the why behind their goals. You can say, I want to have a 6-figure business in 2024. Literally, why? If your why is just to get more money, it's a very fickle goal and it's going to feel disappointing and unreachable on your journey. So you need to turn that into a deeper meaning. For example, I want the money to help my family. I want the money to buy myself a house. I want the money to start investing for my financial freedom. I want the money to be able to travel the world. Or I want to reach that point to start helping causes that I believe in. Now, that is a mission. That is a mission that is going to keep you going, keep you disciplined, and keep you motivated. So these were the mistakes that you must avoid to stay consistent, but we're not done. You must follow the next 3 strategies to stay consistent for long term. Because when you are on the path of consistency, there will be so many distractions and noise forcing you to get off the track and get back to your normal routine. But once you follow these 3 strategies, you will be unstoppable. You will outperform majority of people around you because of your consistency. So strategy number 1 is pick your battle. Now, notice I didn't say battles, I said battle. So I want you to pick one thing and just stick with that. The reason why is that we human beings have limited capacity when it comes to willpower and discipline. In fact, studies show that doctors recommend you do not try to do something like quit smoking and quit sugar at the same time, or you're gonna fail at both. And I tend to agree. So pick one thing, and once you really make that a habit and you win that battle, then you can add on something else. Strategy number 2 is schedule it. The late Stephen Covey said this, and it is a major secret to consistency. Don't prioritize your schedule, schedule your priorities. So this subtle distinction is so important. When you're trying to make something consistent in your life, you want to really build your whole life around it rather than trying to fit it in. And the last one is ignore your feelings. Now, this is probably the only time you're going to ever hear me say this, but when it comes to developing consistency, it's pretty darn important to ignore the voice in your head that says,
"Wah, I don't feel like it."
I mean, anytime you're trying to be consistent at something worthwhile, like working out or meditating or painting or whatever, it's guaranteed you're going to hear that voice.
"Wah, I don't feel like it."
I mean, I hear that voice all the time. There are some days, as much as I love what I do, I don't feel like going to work, I don't feel like doing much of anything, but I've trained myself to override that whole voice in my head because I know the power of consistency. Now, if you've been consistent with something for a long time, or you're just clear that whatever you're up to, you're just done with it, that is fine. You can totally pay attention to your feelings, close that chapter, and move on. However, if you're still trying to develop consistency, and the deeper part of you knows you really do want to keep going, please, for the love of all things holy, ignore your feelings. But there's one issue left. You learned how to stay consistent, and these strategies work, but to a certain limit, because you actually need to be disciplined to maintain that consistency. But the good news is being disciplined is actually very easy. I've explained that in this video. I would recommend you must check it out.